Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing with Dan Diker and Billy Doc Niles. Today's program is brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue on Highway 16 West Salem and downtown La Crosse. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists on La Crosse's north side. By Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona. Pizza Hut. Now here's Dan with this week's show.
Hi, race fans. Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV, along with Billy Doc Niles. I am a radio man, Dan Diker, fresh off of the Dixieland 250 at Wisconsin International Raceway up in Kaukauna. Was up there this week. You're going to be seeing some stuff not only on the TV show, but hearing a bunch of stuff on the radio show. As Billy Doc Niles coming up in the program, segment 1, we're going to recap everything from the Crosse Speedway last week and some big crashes that occurred, 2 big ones. Segment 2 today, you're going to hear Mr. Mark Martin, Hall of Famer himself, and Kyle Busch going to be on the segment today. And I tell you what, Mark Martin was actually wearing his NASCAR Hall of Fame shirt. It was so cool.
Nice. Did you get Kyle Busch before the race?
We got him before and after.
Oh, nice. Good job, Dan.
The cool thing was the before was when he had thought he won the race. The after was the pictures I was taking standing there watching him get DQ'd in the tech shed and plastering all over Facebook. It was outstanding.
You're mean.
So, and then also, segment 3 today, ARCA Midwest Tour PR Director Kevin Ramsell and I did a pit walk live Facebook through the pits. You're going to hear from Kyle Benjamin.
Cool.
You're going to hear from Paul Schaefer, Danny Frederickson, Ty Majeski, and about 5 other drivers.
You did a Mikey pit walk, huh?
We did a big one. It was fantastic.
Awesome.
Matter of fact, if you listen to the radio show this week, I have a full-length interview with Kyle Benjamin, who took second last week at Iowa during the Xfinity race. He was there testing Kyle Busch's car. So 2 big shows coming up this week, but we're going to give you a big show from last week. And that was the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Let's get things started right off the bat. The La Crosse late models, and I heard a lot of comments from people at WIR this week about what's been going on between winner last week, Steve Carlson, and second place finisher Nick Panitsky.
Yeah, this is an impressive points run, I guess you could say, because we're in the stretch run now. We're in August. This is down the stretch run. These 2 have been the cream of the crop, along with Brad Powell when he makes appearances. As evidence last week, they were the top 3. Once again, they break out, and here you are. You got Carlson, Panitsky, and Powell 1, 2, 3. This is going to be a fun one to watch. Carlson picked up a couple more points. I think it's like 15 points between the 2 right now. This is going to be a fun one to watch all the way to Oktoberfest to see if Panitsky can start chipping away at that lead. Then a couple of bad weeks he had. Now he's in a 15-point hole. Let's see if he can break his way out now.
Something that was not fun to announce or watch if you were there was this right here. Jeremy Wagner doing the 6-for-6 dash. The thicket oil line completely broke, run down the front straightaway. He gets past the flag stand, a huge explosion, big ball of flames, sends him hardcore into the turn 1 wall, destroys his car. That one was bad. I mean, that was reminiscent of Ken Lewis doing that when his steering wheel popped off years ago. Jeremy's season is done, and he's feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, well, it's after a hit like that. If you've raced for a long enough time like he has or anybody has, you're definitely going to pop the wall hard at least once in your career, and that's a hard one. He's sore, but he walked away from it. That's the important thing.
Sportsman last weekend. Let's show you this one here. The complexity of this race could have been totally different if there weren't a wreck in this one. Let's show you the last 2 laps first. And again, Steve Bachman back on top. And you know, it's been interesting, when you talk about Panitsky, Powell, and Carlson, somewhat of the same flavor in the late models. Lately, Jeff Thompson and Adam Oxborough have been coming on strong, and they finished 2nd and 3rd behind Bachman.
Yeah, probably the 2 most consistent guys. With the exception of 1 week, they've been able to avoid the big wrecks, and they've been consistently in the top 5. Oxborough in the top 3, it seems like almost every week, and they got a great run going. Bachman, all that bad luck at the beginning of the year, so now he's back to plan B like he has been the last 2 years, going after that Chase Championship.
Talked to him at Kaukauna this week. He wants that 3rd one because he wants all 3 trophies. He wants the trifecta this year.
I saw that picture next to Kyle Busch. He looked a little giddy.
Yeah, and it was funny because he should have got a picture next to Casey Johnson. Here's the wreck we were talking about. This was about halfway through. Sean Lockington, the 38, has been involved in some scrapes the past 3 or 4 weeks. And if you watch this video right here, you're going to see Lockington leading the race. And then all of a sudden, Brad Worthen starts coming to his outside panel. Everybody saw what happened after that when this in-car video came out. This in-car is from Justin Berg, so we're going to show you that one first. And hard contact. Very hard contact. Hard to believe that, for as hard as Worthen hit, he was able to drive away from that and finish the race. If you look at the video, especially the KQEG video, I'm not trying to place blame or explain it away, but it looks to me like the 38 broke loose. To me, it appears to be a racing accident, a very hard racing accident, but it appeared to me like the 38 broke loose going into the corner. I don't think nobody intends to wreck anybody. Nobody intends to hit anybody. So it just seemed to me a very bad, hard racing accident. Here is that video from KQEG TV from our camera on the front straightaway and our camera in turn 2. And you're going to see again how bad this thing was as the two had collided and got up into the corners. And, of course, Lockington, I thought, was going over the wall. Yeah, he was airborne, man. That was incredible. And Worthen actually drove his car back to the pits, totally crumpled. 20 people went down there, got the thing back on the racetrack, and he ends up finishing 8th, and Randy Humpfeld ends up finishing 6th. So to the Thunderstocks we're going to go. And, yes, Adam Moore, I think we've mentioned his name every single week of the TV show this year. Didn't win this one, but was coming close to Caleb Hardy. He was getting there. He had Moore, without a doubt, is by far the most consistent driver in the Thunderstocks this year, as evidenced by his, 4 or 5 wins in a row. And like we said last week, barring a major accident, he's going to end up walking away with this championship. So again, Caleb Hardy gets his first win in a Thunderstock of the year. Nice job. Street Stocks were all last week as well, and the man that broke the track record here a couple of weeks ago, and it was maybe about a month ago, Chris Critter Sampson and Dakota Miller. Dakota Miller, by the way, had a great run in a Sportsman last weekend. Had he not spun out in turn 2, he may have had a top 3 in his first Sportsman ride of the year. He was into a Street Stock. You can see right here, Chris Critter Sampson, after some cautions, spins, all kinds of melees were going on in this one here. That man's on a mission. You notice the 08 he's got in his car. That's after his best friend, Caleb Miller, who passed away about 4 years ago, Dakota Miller's brother, also the brother of Brad Worthen, and he was on a rail. Oh, big time. He had a good jump, running a really good line. I think the important thing to bring up here is points leader John Aaron had some contact with somebody, cut a tire down, amazingly drove a lap and a half before he finally pulled it off the track, but now the points are all jumbled up in this class. This one's going to be a fun one to watch down to the end. Benjamin Art took 2nd, Chris Larson takes 3rd. John Aaron still has the points lead even after a DNF, but like Billy just said, things are awfully, awfully tight. What's coming up this week in the Crosse Speedway? You got the late models, the Sportsman, the Thunderstocks, minivans are back in action, and of course the ever-popular Trailer Race of Destruction. Get there early, get a good seat, because this one will sell out this Sunday night. Bill's going to be on the track. Paul Reichert, Burton Rubber Race Report's going to be on the track. We're going to have some really good footage of this thing for the TV show next week. When we come back, we're going to go from the Crosse Speedway NASCAR racing to actual NASCAR Hall of Famer. That's next on the Big Board Presents Simmers Racing, KQEG TV.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue. Or you don't have to drive down to Des Moines to get great pulled pork too. If you want ribs, the best in town, pulled pork or chicken too. Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Board Barbecue.
Hi, this is Jerry Beyer, and I'm pleased to announce the opening of our new location. We're bringing our delicious ribs, pulled pork, and brisket to the north side of La Crosse. Now, if you live on the north side and you want delicious barbecue ribs, pulled pork, or brisket, now you'll find our Big Boar Cook Shack parked on the corner of George and Gillette Street every Wednesday through Sunday. We're just a short walk from your door. So come on over and sink your teeth into the barbecue voted best in La Crosse County. Don't forget takeout, Big Boar Barbecue. Now that's a mouthful.
Yeah!
Whatever your perfect temperature, you'll enjoy consistent comfort with the heating and air conditioning systems homeowners rank #1. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists, providing Coulee Region families with perfect indoor weather all year long. Call for your free estimate today, 608-782-0977. Have you tried the great lunch buffet at Pizza Hut? Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1:30, Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona offers you an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet for just $5.99. All the salad, pasta, breadsticks, and of course, delicious piping hot pizza you can eat. How about dinner? Don't get up, get online and get a large 2-topping pizza for just $7.99. It's the best pizza delivery deal at your La Crosse and Winona Pizza Hut. Call for delivery or order online. Pizza Hut.
Hi, race fans. Welcome back. Big Boar Barbecue presents Cinemas Racing KQEG TV, along with Billy Doc Niles. I'm Radio Man Dan Diker, still trying to catch up with some sleep from our festivities we had at WIR with the Dixieland 250 this week. Finally got to meet a NASCAR Hall of Famer. Out of all the years I've been doing announcing and radio and all this good stuff, I've never met a NASCAR Hall of Famer. He's about as tall as Ty Majeski. Matter of fact, Mark Martin finally met Ty Majeski for the first time ever on the racetrack. And he did a immediate thing with us. You should have seen the line for the autograph session. If you've been to WIR in the past, it went from just to the right of the announcing tower, and they wrapped it all the way around, all the way down the concourse, almost all the way down to the turn one.
I believe it. For those who remember Mark Martin being in Wisconsin back in the late 70s and through the 80s, what a phenomenal run he had, you know. And he talks about it. We'll hear about it in this piece here, but talks about the great battles he had with the legends of Wisconsin. And Dan, here's your interview with Mark Martin.
Okay. Nice meeting you. You too, sir. So I guess, Mark, first thing is, what does it feel like to be back at Wisconsin International Raceway?
I was so excited to see the racetrack because, you know, the shape of this racetrack is so unique, and it was probably my second favorite short track of all, and it was so cool when we pulled in here and I saw the cars going around it. Man, I love racing here, WIR.
1981 and 1984 winner of this great race.
Yeah, and we had some other great runs too here, great races. Won some races, always ran really good here. It's a very unique racetrack, and the fans in Wisconsin, support short track racing like no other place in the world.
Going from 1981 to today, talk about some of the biggest changes you see when you come back here.
I haven't had a chance to look yet. It's still full of great race fans, that's for sure. The Wisconsin race fans they support the short track racing like no other place I've ever been, and there's a lot of enthusiasm. And I did get a glimpse of the racetrack coming in here, and I look forward to getting down and seeing the cars up close, because that's what's really changed is the race cars.
When you talk about some of the drivers that are here now and their driving styles, how does that compare to some of the drivers you raced against back in 81 and 84?
Well, things have changed a lot since then, and the way you race, the level of competition. I raced with Triple and Tom Reffner and Larry Degens and Mike Miller and so many of the Wisconsin greats. And we had a code of driving ethics that we lived by, and those ethics have changed over the years, mainly based on the way the cars are and how many good cars there are out there on the racetrack, and things are just a lot different. Cars are different, but the racing's still great.
One of the guys racing tonight, Ty Majeski, the local favorite, kind of came up the same way you did. What do you like about him? I know I've heard you're a pretty big fan of his.
I judged Ty basically on with the same criteria I did Matt Kenseth. I knew that Matt won a lot of races up here, and I knew he won different places and different cars and different teams, and that told me that Matt knew his race cars, and so I knew that Matt would be successful based on knowing what it takes to win races up here. I judged Ty the same way. He's doing the same thing. Not many people really stand out like that. This is a tough area, a tough group to stand out, and it appears that Ty is doing that. So I've got my eye on him.
Have you had a chance to talk to Ty, and if so, what are some of the conversations?
I haven't met him yet.
Really?
I haven't met him.
That'll happen tonight.
That'll happen tonight.
Right.
But you've talked. He said he has talked to you on the phone. Something. He really appreciated your advice.
Yeah. You know, did a radio show with him and all, and you know, when somebody's not winning races and they want my advice, I got plenty for them. When somebody's winning races every week, I ain't got much for them. They're already doing it all right.
All right.
When you were talking about Wisconsin with such a big fan base, I interviewed Bubba Pollard a couple weeks ago and came up, ran Madison, and he said when he came out of turn 4, he could not believe how jammed the grandstands were. He's also raced several times in Wisconsin, and he says short track racing is so live in this state. Can you comment on that?
I already said that. I mean, Wisconsin supports short track racing like no other place in the world. In no place in the world can you race five nights a week. I mean, in the summertime, if you're a young race car driver and you want to get some experience, you come to Wisconsin. That's where you can get experience and you can race good, hard, clean, and learn how it's done. That's what I did in 1977, 78. I started coming up here in the summer so that I could race day in and day out against the best in short track racing. And I'm sure it's the same way today.
I announced at the Crosse Speedway. Can you talk about what you remember about the Crosse Speedway?
I remember going to La Crosse for the first time in 1977, and I remember being parked in the grass, unlevel, and I remember oil springs rolling out across the ground because we were changing springs on the car. It's my first memory. We had to soften up the springs because it was flatter than where we were used to running, but we had a lot of good racing. Look, there's no place that I raced in Wisconsin that I didn't love.
Kind of interesting. He knew when he drove the La Crosse Speedway his very first time in 1977, right off the top of his head.
He remembers the spring rolling down the track.
So it was one of his favorite tracks. And I'll tell you what, real quickly, give me an answer in 30 seconds.
Okay.
He talked that the driver code that they used to have with Deachins and all those guys back in the day is no longer there.
Well, to put it bluntly, he's right. There was a code years ago, you know, a give and take code, and nowadays it appears there's nothing but take. And you know, we can get drivers in here to talk about it, but bottom line is there's not as much, you know, friendly racing as there used to be.
Well, our TV segment we were going to do with Kyle Busch got inadvertently scrapped. Kyle Busch was his plane was landing in Green Bay, and it started clunking and chunking. So they did not get him in there. Could not find him a helicopter. They finally rented him a Toyota.
Shocked me.
And he made it to the track about 2 hours later. I did get a chance to roll this video right here of some behind the scenes. Kyle Busch getting ready to hop into the number 51. And again, Travis Benjamin, they were so close to qualifying that Travis Benjamin was in his racing suit, and they were putting a seat cover over Kyle Busch's seat. It was like an insert. It was that kind of a window.
Have you seen Benjamin standing next to Busch? It's like me standing next to you.
Yeah, he's kind of a skinny guy, and you'll see some pictures all over my Facebook here that we were taking the 2 days we were up there this week. Talking about Kyle Benjamin, you're going to hear more about him on the Cool Gold 1460 Race Report coming up Saturday at noon. When we return, we're going to walk to the pits at Kaukauna, right here in KQEG TV.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue. Or you don't have to drive down to Des Moines to get great pulled pork too. If you want ribs, the best in town, pulled pork or chicken too, just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
Hi, this is Jerry Beyer, and I'm pleased to announce the opening of our new location. We're bringing our delicious ribs, pulled pork, and brisket to the north side of La Crosse. Now, if you live on the north side and you want delicious barbecue ribs, pulled pork, or brisket, now you'll find our Big Boar Cook Shack parked on the corner of George and Gillette Street every Wednesday through Sunday. We're just a short walk from your door. So come on over and sink your teeth into the barbecue voted best in La Crosse County. Don't forget takeout. Big Boar Barbecue. Now that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Whatever your perfect temperature, you'll enjoy consistent comfort with the heating and air conditioning systems homeowners rank #1. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists, providing Coulee Region families with perfect indoor weather all year long. Call for your free estimate today, 608-782-0977. Have you tried the great lunch buffet at Pizza Hut? Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1:30, Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona offers you an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet for just $5.99. All the salad, pasta, breadsticks, and of course, delicious piping hot pizza you can eat. How about dinner? Don't get up, get online and get a large 2-topping pizza for just $7.99. It's the best pizza delivery deal at your La Crosse and Winona Pizza Hut. Call for delivery or order online. Pizza Hut.
Hi again, folks. Big Boar Barbecue presents Cimarron's Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker. That is Billy Doc Niles. You know, it's funny, Billy Doc Niles was just talking about Kyle Benjamin and actually what he looks like compared to Kyle Busch. Well, there was a good segue because you're about to see what he looks like. As PR director for the ARCA Midwest Tour, Kevin Ramsel and I did a live Facebook pit walk through the pits before and during and after the pre-tech that was going on. You're going to be seeing interviews now. Danny Frederickson sitting on his butt putting stickers in his car. Paul Schaefer, how long is that ponytail? And Xfinity race car driver Kyle Benjamin. That's right now.
Look at this live footage of coverage of Dan putting all the sponsors on his car at once. Excited. Yeah, just try to hold your emotions down, Dan, please. Hold your emotions down. All right, good luck, bud. You're not driving tonight again, are you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Not a bad run at Gateway though, huh?
Yeah, definitely went better than I expected. We were up to third, I believe, and then the tires started to go down, dropped back to 12th, but overall, I've had fun and couldn't really ask for a better finish than that.
So you're driving the second Justin Nortel car. This time you got Travis Bray as your teammate.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
What do you think of this track?
It's different. Haven't run a super late on such a short track before. Haven't raced anything on a track this bumpy, I don't think. Let alone anything with a dog leg either. So
yeah,
a lot of new things to adjust to tonight. But I'm pretty confident that with the 3 practices we have, I'll be able to figure it out and hopefully get pretty good qualifying and then hopefully qualify into the show right away and not have to run the last chance. But if need be, it should be all right.
Well, hopefully you can make the show and not have to worry about that last chance, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
hey,
that's
great,
cool.
Great to see you back with Midwest Tour, and hopefully have another good run tonight, right?
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, just going through there. Here's Kyle Busch's car. There it is, Kyle Busch's. Kyle is not here yet, but should be soon. There goes Paul Schaefer. See, remember earlier where you were saying that wasn't Paul Schaefer? Take a look at the hairstyles here. It's going to be really close. Wow.
Should be okay.
You went with the ponytail today, didn't you? We're on Facebook Live, by the way. Okay. We were trying to compare hairstyles, you know. So.
I think mine's a little nicer. I don't know.
Oh, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
You've been so close. Will this be the one tonight?
I don't know. I'll tell you in about, I don't know, 8 hours or something?
Hours or
yeah,
so?
a couple hours, I'll tell you. I'm going to hope for the best. We'll see. It'd be cool to beat that 51. I hear...
Is that one right there? Yeah.
That one right there. It'd be cool to beat that car.
Yeah.
I heard Eric Jones got a ride when he beat him, so...
Oh, that's true, yeah. You kind of hope for the same fate falls on you tonight?
Yeah. If a guy's got one shot, I think that's it.
Gotcha.
If you beat the best, then, you know, there's something to say there. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, good luck tonight. I know you want to get caught up with your car there.
Yeah,
so.
Thanks. I got to do tires.
Oh, you got to do tires? Oh, man, he's a multifaceted guy here. See Kyle Busch's car. There's the Rowdy car for tonight. Got a lot of good cars here tonight. Will Bennett's here. We got one more area to go through here. We're going to walk through tech here. Is Kyle Benjamin still sleeping? Is he? You want to go and get him for me?
Sure.
Yeah, we're doing Facebook Live. He owes me a steak. He owes me a steak dinner too. I want to get Kyle's thoughts. Just want to get Kyle's thoughts on stuff. Kyle Benjamin actually did a little testing with his car here. Facebook Live. Hi, Tommy. Good. Where's your car? Should be here, bud.
No right side on.
Well, put that 0 thing on the right side. Yeah, good. So.
If it would have been mine, it would have already been racing the next It's a different era today.
Yeah, it is. You're not running 5 nights a week like you used to, right?
I had a frame rack back then. I was sat on a frame rack.
You still owe me a steak dinner.
No.
How you doing, bud? We're on Facebook Live.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah, so I thought I'd get you the Kyle Benjamin's.
You had to put me on the spot with the steak dinner, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yep. I got a live video of it, too. So you almost won it on Saturday at Iowa Speedway, didn't you?
Yeah, no, we were close. I just, it was a great run. We had a good car all day, and you know, the most important thing is I learned a lot in that race.
Are you hoping Kyle doesn't show up today so you can race this tonight?
He almost said he had a problem with his plane, and I
he
thought
did?
at least he doesn't get to practice today, but I think he's going to make it, so unfortunately.
For you. You had a chance to test this car here. What do you think about this track, and wish you could run this race tonight?
Yeah, I really like the track. It has a lot of character. Our car was pretty fast yesterday, especially on long runs, and I think that, you know, it's something that can win the race tonight pretty easily, and I really want to be behind the wheel of it, but I have to say this track, it kind of looks like they messed it up on the front straightaway. Just say we're going to go with it, which I like. I like tracks like that. But
It's kind of like a miniature Pocono.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
So, hey, you probably saw the news that NASCAR put out this morning about that they're going to limit Cup drivers to run Xfinity and Truck Series races. As someone who's up and coming like you are, what do you feel about that? Think it's going to give you more opportunity down the road? Or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I like that because they have to put young guys in the seat at that point. They can't put, you know, the Cup drivers in, like you said. It just gives a lot more people opportunities, and I think it's a good thing for the sport.
Well, when are you going to be running your next Xfinity race?
Kentucky.
Kentucky? Cool. All right, give me 1 second here. We're going to continue. So Kentucky is going to be next one. How many more races with Joe Gibbs this year?
Just one more.
One more? Okay. If people are coming down on the pits, look for him today. He's usually hiding out on the 51 hauler here, but by the way, if you're nice, maybe I'll buy you a steak sandwich later on, okay?
And cheese curds?
Oh, God, all right. I don't know how good their cheese curds are here, but so they're deep fried stuff. I didn't bring the fresh stuff.
Yeah, like you did in Wisconsin that one time.
Yeah, if someone answered their text back last night, I would have got some fresh cheese curds.
I know, come on.
But they did not answer back their text. Oh, whatever. So, all right, appreciate it. Appreciate you coming outside.
Thank you.
So we're doing Facebook Live. I got about 80 viewers right now. So see us tonight. So good luck tonight. If you stop up here, maybe I'll buy you that grounded steak sandwich later on.
Well, I'd like that.
All right, we'll see you later, Kyle.
See you.
Kyle Benjamin, up and coming driver. Got the tech going through here. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Some of the Big 8 cars, Brody Willett's cars there. There's you ready for tonight, Nick?
I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be. It's going to be exciting, a long night. Hopefully no headaches, clean race.
Sounds good. All right, hey, guess what? My battery is just going low on this thing. I brought almost end this thing here. So who's going to win tonight? That's like asking a race director.
You don't ask the race director who's going to win. I could have influence on that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Very interesting. Kyle Benjamin shook down Kyle Busch's car on Monday. Almost had to shake it again. He practiced it Tuesday morning at Kaukauna, and then Kyle came to qualify. He races for Joe Gibbs Racing, though.
Get out.
Isn't that interesting?
That's
KBR, Joe Gibbs coming together? What?
Well, Busch has all the Toyotas. He has the backing from Gibbs. He's got everything he needs to, and he's got obviously the driver to set it up for him. He obviously knows how Kyle Busch likes his car. So I think it was a great pull by him to get Benjamin up here to practice the car.
Love the behind-the-scenes things. Want to thank Kevin Ramsell, PR Director of the ARCA Midwest Tour, as he did quite a bit with me at Kaukauna there. We got the press conferences assembled. He also helped me, our Fandango Kyle Busch, which you're going to hear on the radio show this week, and a more in-depth video or interview with Mark Martin. So, wow, I need to take a nap now because that was a long week of racing. And what other show? You're going to see Kyle Benjamin, Kyle Busch, and Mark Martin in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
None but right here on KQEG TV.
We do it right here. Paul Reichert's over there. That's Billy Ducknells. Jesse's back behind the green curtain. My name is Dan Dyker. I want to thank you for joining us this week. You can check out our YouTube channel, Cinemas Racing. I'm Dan Dyker. Have a great week and support local short track racing. This is KQEG TV.
You've been watching the Big Boar Barbecue presentation of Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV. Seven Rivers Racing is brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue on Highway 16 West Salem and downtown La Crosse. Big Boar Barbecue. Now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists on La Crosse's north side. By Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona. Pizza Hut. Join us next week at this same time for Doc and Dan and Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.